All right. So if mindset is 80 to 90% of success, why aren't more people mastering it? Welcome to the Championship Mindset Podcast. I'm Spencer Senn, founder of Freedom and Healing and the creator of the I.G.O.A.T mental method. This show is really for athletes, coaches, parents, and anyone that is really ready to be their best. And each week, you'll hear real stories, get great advice and tools to make mindset your priority. Okay. And as a young top athlete, my career ended early in injury. Okay. Surgeries, addiction, loss of identity. My life spiraled out of control until years later, God literally placed world class mentors, mindset mentors into my path. And they didn't just help me reclaim my mind, okay, and my true self. They trained me. All right. Now I help others do the same. And this podcast supports that divine calling. And I didn't see that coming. And a huge part of my mission is to upgrade athletes or anyone's minds, starting as early as the age of 10 or any age, helping people be their best and perform their best in sports and in life. And here's another critical part: have fun doing it. Okay. My I.G.O.A.T method upgrades the unconscious mind, the software that runs us, okay, the patterns and beliefs that drive us, creating peak performance and lasting optimization. All right. You can catch this show live every Friday at 12 p.m. Central on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And then replays will also be available on those platforms as well as Apple, Spotify, and Stitch. So, all right. All right. Now that the stage is set, let's rewind the film a little bit. Our guest today, a man who wears more hats than a soccer mom at a garage sale. Life.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
He's navigated life, the game, and the business behind the game with a kind of depth that lives up to his name. Deep Deschaudre how shows up with insight, impact, and usually wisdom before breakfast, because this isn't a job interview. He already has many. This is a conversation where the unconscious minds get lit up like it's the 4th of July. And as you're listening, you might begin to notice yourself wondering, what belief am I ready to uninstall, or finally update today? So Deep, great to meet you. Thank you for being here. And it's great, absolutely great to meet you. How are you today?
Oh, great. I'm doing amazing. I'm just really excited for today. It's my girlfriend's birthday tomorrow, so I'm just arranging for that. And then have a good day with her today, later today and tomorrow. And then also working security for the U.S. Open Surf Championships here in Huntington Beach, California, where I'm also a master personal trainer and been personal training director at LA Fitness since 2015. And I've just been growing in my sports career, doing a variety of things. And most recently, of course, passing my NFLPA sports agent test last year, which took a few times. I didn't pass my first time, and then I refocused again, get back to studying. You know, sometimes you get in the work mode, so I had to get back in the study mode. And then I sat down and passed the exam and represent a few players like, Michael Holland, who plays in Europe, as well as Brandon Potts, who plays in Germany right now. And it's been a learning experience as my first year as an NFL agent. But I've been a sports coach and trainer for 15 to 20 years. I graduated Pennsylvania State University in kinesiology and psychology and played rugby there for 1 year. And then I grew up in high school playing soccer, tennis, and American football. And just been growing that, and as well as coaching youngsters from ages 5 all the way up to college and even adults at this time.
Wow. And actually, it was just complete coincidence that we connected. I had no idea that you were Michael Holland's agent. I had no clue. It was just like something that happened in the process of getting this whole thing going. And as you know, this is all new to me. So each podcast, I'm noticing we're getting better at it. I'm
Yeah.
getting better at it. I'm way outside of my comfort zone. So like when people, and you've seen this and you've experienced it, when you have
Yeah.
that pressure, that anxiety, you got to lean into it. And it sounds like you lean into a lot of that and manage it. Um, so thank you for, my gosh, all of that information. Obviously, you have experience and in what we're going to talk about today. And that's why you're on, not to just share your story, but to give nuggets, insight, wisdom, experiences that you've gone through. So one of the things I want to ask you specifically um, is what moments, whether it's when you were young, now older, wherever you want to start with it, what moments or forks in the road shaped you, the way that you think, influenced you, the way you operate, show up in the world today. And and you already gave us a short version of what you do and like the different things of the components of you, who you are deep. Give us that other part. Let's go a little bit deeper.
Oh, great. Yeah. My mom and dad are from Calcutta and West Bengal, India, and
Okay.
they moved here in the mid 60s, the early 70s. My dad was a very intelligent man, of course, mechanical engineer at those times. Uh, she was went to University of Virginia. He was a Cavalier, as well as Bucknell University, Bison, and he got a scholarship here for mechanical engineering PhD, and that's why he moved from India to here. And then he finished his PhD, then went back to India. And 1 week, he has 6 sisters. They found him a wife through pictures and stuff. So my mom is really great.
Which is a cultural thing, right?
Yeah, a cultural thing. I grew up Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, so I'll share that with you a little bit later. My
Yeah.
coming to Jesus testimony as well. And
There you
then
go.
they moved. My mom thought it was like a vacation trip. Back in the 1970s, they didn't have Facebook and internet to be connected so well with all over the world. So she said, "Oh, I'm just going over for vacation." She was 19. My dad was 32. They got arranged marriage and moved here. And they, in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, I had a town home, then a regular home. And then I was born in 1975, and grew up there and in Western PA, Greensburg area, which really shaped me. And then I grew up kind of a Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic. My mom and dad are very open-minded. They're very faithful to God, but they believe there's many ways to one path.
Yeah.
And then, which was great for me in the beginning, but then I slowly saw that it wasn't. I sometimes had a really difficult time growing up, being only the few Indian American students in Western PA, which is a suburb in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
All right. Did you find that challenging?
Yeah, I found it challenging in the beginning. There was only very few families that were Indian or Asian at that time growing up. So I grew up with a lot of people who were Irish American and Italian American families around me, which really made me feel at home. Of course, Catholic. I went to Catholic school, the 1st through 6th grade, and then I went to public junior high and high school with Hempfield High School and Air Harold Junior High, and then I went to Catholic school, St. Paul. And what I remember, though, is growing up praying every day to Jesus, as well as with my parents to Krishna and Buddha. It very focused me in a proper manner because I took the wisdom from Hinduism and Buddhism, and then all the great aspects of Christianity, like, had to say recite the Catholic prayer in the morning, as well as the United States national, salute to the flag every morning. So that really helped me. And I love being American as well as being faithful to God.
Like the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah, Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, for sure.
And so a lot of times, you see in the world today, people aren't proud to be American and fly that United States flag recently. It kind of upsetting to me.
Yeah, it's crazy upsetting.
Yeah.
That's actually touching on that point right there. That's actually part of my mission. Okay, not just about America, but about anybody. Helping them clear away all this bad programming, all the bad, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
from birth, it's been installed into us by everything around us that influences us. Clear that away and upgrade people's mind with confidence, clarity, respect, drive, motivation, all of that stuff so people can, go out, no matter what their start is, be their true self, live their best, be their best, contribute to the world their best, and make this world a better place where we don't have people burning flags, when we don't have all of this crap that's going on that just feeds negativity. But anyhow, I digress there for a second.
Yeah, the negativity can really get you down. And good thing I have God and Jesus to help focus with me. Um, and it helps me to remember to be humble, not to be,
Yeah.
I understand that these people come from different backgrounds as well, and that they might not have the nice community that I grew up in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, where everyone's really, really proud to be American. And the schools at that time really fostered that sense of identity,
Yeah.
of respecting your Indian culture and things like that, as well as being proud to be American and
Yeah.
have a nice blend
Yeah, for
of
sure. And it
mixture.
sounds to me like what I hear you saying or displaying to everybody is
Yeah.
that you understood, or maybe it was just a natural thing for you to have an open mind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Out of respect, having an open mind, maybe based on how you were raised or what you were influenced with or taught. In all of that, what do you remember as to what really, as you faced challenges, what helped you kind of go forward and continue on, because you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the main thing is sports really helped me. So other
Okay.
side from being having some difficulties of making sure I was faithful to God and Jesus. Some people, as you grow in your faith, sometimes
Yeah,
you have doubts, like
for
any
sure.
pastor or priest or people who are very faithful. Sometimes things happen in your life. Like my pastor in Vail, Colorado church, his daughter had passed away with an accident. They went on a trip, and then he even had some questions. So sometimes difficulties happen. You could be the most faithful person,
Yeah.
but then sports helped me out in that instance. Like through those tough times, you remember I was a wrestler in junior high, and I had a Marine sergeant, drill sergeant as my wrestling coach. So
Awesome.
like someday if we were having off days on the wrestling mat and not having fun, he'd make us do sit-ups and push-ups for 2 hours as a team. And
Yeah.
that would be very difficult. And you wouldn't realize it till later on, like, oh, that coach really helped me through going through those tough times when things aren't always going your way, that you have to dig down deep. Maybe a customer at LA Fitness, all of a sudden, like, you sell them on a great deal, and all of a sudden you did a great training session, and then all of a sudden they end up complaining about you. I'm like, and then you never even saw it coming, and totally brings on your day, and you thought you did everything right for that client. Or, for example,
Things out of your control. You can't
yeah, things are out of your control.
manage. This is where we're going, man. You can't manage. I mean, look at how many people, including myself, like, and you heard my intro.
Yes.
After I ended my career, I lost my identity. I mean, completely. Then I got addicted to Demerol after surgery and bone grafts, and then I could on to other stuff, alcohol,
Oh yeah.
other drugs. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I don't know if you can agree with this or what your perspective is, but
Yes.
I look back now, and now I know, as God laid these other resources in my path at the right time to help me reclaim my mind. And now, not only do I have control over it, I manage my own emotions and states, and
Yeah.
I train people to do that, and I install it into them so it's fast, quick, easy, lasting. But what I realized in all of that, what I thought was this was happening to me, I realized I was a victim. I had a victim mentality. Okay. And I see it everywhere. And to me, what I help install and also give people tools for is to go, okay, share my story. First of all, like all of those things that were critically bad happening to me, they didn't happen to me, they happened for me.
Yeah.
Okay. To bring me to who I am. And now I found my purpose and my gift, and I'm trained and all this stuff, and I just do more and more. Okay. Have you found that challenges were necessary to shape you?
Yes, I definitely found that true. Challenges, for example, growing up, every 4 years I used to travel with my mom and sister to India for 3 months, and I didn't really want to do that. I want to stay back, have fun with everybody in the neighborhood, play baseball,
For
have a good
sure.
time in the summer. But then I had to go meet my relatives in Calcutta, India, and West Bengal. So it reshaped me to know the various cultures and from how people live in areas of like London, England, to Calcutta, Kolkata, they call it now, India, and Darjeeling, and the various things that happen, how we're all intertwined, and everyone deals with various perspectives and religious beliefs. Because growing up, I always thought everybody, growing up with like a large Catholic community in the Greensburg area, I thought everybody was Catholic except for me. And then I used to go to service too with everybody, and then which was great. And everyone was very respectful. And of course, eventually over time, I had a setback after Penn State where I had a great time 4 years.
Yeah.
I went to school there and played rugby in my first year, and I was a Kappa Alpha Order brother, a Southern Gentlemen's fraternity, which they tried to make it very diverse, and I was a rush chair for that. And then after being successful at Penn State, I went to physical therapy school in Scotland. And I finished my
Nice.
first year, and things didn't work out. I passed my first year, but I was dating a lady, and then we happened to break up, and then I had got into a depression state, and then I realized that I wasn't praying or having as much faith to God and Jesus at that time, and then I went on a downhill. So I had to return. My parents wanted me back in Pennsylvania, so I had to return to Pennsylvania, not complete that physical therapy school, and had to regroup.
Major setback, right?
Yeah,
Major
and then I
setback.
realized now that was a great learning experience for me because I ended up working Bally's Toe Fitness, managing there with one of my mentors, Tommy Mansman, who's a very great coach who played running back and Marshall in his days, and he
Nice.
taught me all the ropes of the health industry. And then a lady there, Kristen, happened to invite me to church. She was just at Bally's Toe Fitness walking in, and I eventually went to her church. She was in the choir, and then I came to God and Jesus again through that. Kind of a born again Christian Catholic.
Well, and again, as I hear you talking, and I've learned this too, in the rewiring. You
Yes.
said the word reset. You know what I mean? Reframe. Reframing. Okay, I know this is not what I want. I'm doing jobs that I never was interested in or thought I would be doing, but
Yeah.
you had the resources or the support or your internal, all of those things go, all right, I need to listen to people, I need to come back, I need to reset, I need to rewind, and I need to look at what can I learn from this. And then you took that and moved forward. Okay,
Yeah.
that's something that people need to do every day in every scenario, and stop looking at things as this is bad, this is good. Those are labels. Here's the deal. I've learned that both of them are necessary for success. If one is missing, you don't have success. Would you agree with that? And
Yeah.
as far as the mindset aspect, all right. You've coached, you've done all the things that you say that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did
Sometimes with success, sometimes with failure.
right
And
failure?
then people say you learn more from failure than success at
That's
times.
right. That's right. Exactly. Because success gets comfortable, and
Yeah.
you can't even retain success without failing. Okay. There's always adjustments. And when did mindset stop being a buzzword for you and become a lifeline for you?
A mindset.
When
I
did you
always had
realize it was super important, and when did that shift things?
mindset, a strong sense of mindset happened with being consistent with training and working out every day. For example, if I miss like a few days of working out, my mindset can go astray. And then maybe it's a prayer in the morning or in traffic, you're listening to maybe I was listening to the Happy Joel Osteen. Everyone tells him people that he's like too like too positive a pastor. But I listen to all variety of pastors and priests to get my information. Sometimes even Jay Shetty, the Indian guy who became a Buddhist monk in his life and then came back. I listen to a variety of different perspectives, and that helps me through. But you're always learning and moving forward. You could be stuck in traffic. Here I'm going to client instead of just listening to random things on the radio. You can always learn, and sometimes that always lifts you out of that. Every day is going to be a new adventure, and yesterday could be a horrible, terrible day, but in the next 24 hours, things could change like that.
That's right. And even faster if you have the mindset where you train your mind to go, what is good from the bad? And then you notice it, and that's the reframe. Now you use that energy and that information and that learning into positive. And again, you keep touching on it, being open-minded. And you're 100% right, and I've learned it too. Keep learning from other people's perspective, okay? And then keep doing it. As you grow, new perspectives will show up when you're ready for them, okay? And then to everyone watching, follow what works. Who cares? I mean, my kids laugh at me. One of the things that just puts me in a rhythm and a groove is music in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I could be super pissed. I could be super depressed. I could be super upset and turn that on. And in minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm feeling okay. John Denver. I don't know what the deal is, but
oh yeah, anyhow, John Denver, yeah.
Anyhow, he's a good about it, but she's listening to it now herself, and she's learning from me how to be open-minded, and my wife too, my people I'm around. Influence. As we begin to, like what you've done too, stabilize our mind, learn, open-minded, and move through things and grow, you begin to influence everybody, not just in energy, but in our behavior, in our movements, in everything that we do. We forget this, okay? So I want to go into, for time's sake, the next thing that I wanted to talk about. And, what do you see as the real mental blocks, the real issues, not just surface level stuff like motivation, but the deeper patterns? Like, let's start with young athletes, like fear of failure, fear of success, overthinking, identity loss, imposter syndrome, pressure, performance anxiety. What do you see in what you're seeing out there now that you're an agent? Yeah. Obviously, you're going to be looking for younger people coming up that you can represent. What are you seeing out there? I had a conversation with somebody that saw the last podcast that took me back 40 years. He was a younger player under me at the Bavarian Club, okay, just before I ended my career. And he was like, man, you had drive, you had passion, you had motivation, you were having so much fun. You weren't worried about what is that going to get me. And then I got some offers that ended that were very good offers. And that's when I lost my identity and all that. But when he was like, you know what, parents, he runs a big organization here, okay, an MLS for kids, okay, that's the top level that you get to in kids, you know what I mean, 11 to 18. And he was like, man, today parents are just nuts. And by the way, I used to coach. I got out of it because of parents. Now I'm back coaching, but I'm a different person now because I kept learning and growing. But he was like, man, parents are like pressuring these kids. They're not having any fun. And they're literally like dropping them off at practice. Like, they're not motivated to do it, but they're dropping off. This is where you're going to spend your time for the next 2 hours. What are your thoughts? What do you see as those real issues in athletes today?
It's like a fine balance because you have a lot of things from other people saying you can't do it to you can do it. So sometimes you want to listen to your true self and your true identity, and you're always learning and growing. Sometimes people can be it could be a negative experience from other people that you're learning from, and positive as well, because there's a lot of information now these days out there, and sometimes it's not always correct. So you got to go with your gut instincts sometime, but also be in prayer with God and Jesus.
Yeah.
That's help leading you in the right path as well. Because sometimes there's people in my life who told me, no, you can't do that. That's a crazy idea. But then you're like, no, I think I can do this. I can get this business successful. I can be the top notch LA Fitness personal training director. I can get my first client to be an NFL agent. And a lot of things, you'll have like 50% people will say you can't do it, and 50% people will support you and motivate you to your goals. So you got to be strong enough in your own will and mindset that you're going to keep going forward. There's going to be setbacks. Then you got to dig deep and then learn and then go back into it and keep going forward.
For sure. But would you agree? I mean, what I'm seeing, even going back coaching, even watching, pure failure. I mean, in a baseball game the other day, watching a child stand at the plate, just letting pitches go, go, go. You can see they're afraid to swing and miss. And here I am. Hey, have fun. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath and miss. Have fun.
Giving them the coaching that they need in mindset, and eliminate that overthinking, eliminate that pressure, all of that stuff. I know.
Yeah, have fun playing sport is very important as well.
You've seen this. The most successful athletes in the world have fun at what they're doing. Okay, and even at the pro level where you're at with representing, I see it. I'm sure you do. What are the biggest issues that you're seeing with athletes that are at the pro level? Talk about that real briefly. What problems are you seeing mindset wise with confidence and stuff like that?
Sometimes so I have a player who plays arena ball named Tyler. And he works like 24/7, just like me almost. And he takes time to take care of his daughter as well as play arena football. And his mindset is strong that he goes in there for a few hours, starting quarterback for arena ball for the Sioux City Bandits, and he's able to play really great games. He waited his turn this year as a backup, then moved into the starting role, and he balled out. And then I gave him encouragement, and hopefully as a representation of him this year, I can get him maybe to the UFL, get him a tryout, or NFL in the future. Maybe he could be a future Kurt Warner. So I just try to give people hope, and as well as their setbacks, be there for them and support them. Yeah. Just like I do with my athletes, as well as my girlfriend and my other family members, because it can be tough. But then when you support everybody else in your mindset, you also have to take time to yourself and relax, because you don't want things to get too overwhelming as well.
Well, right. And you see, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's you, whether it's anybody, whether they're an athlete or not, the majority of people struggle with this stuff: fear of failure, fear of success, all of that stuff, self-sabotage, getting down on yourself, it's negative self-talk, all of it. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, you've been through it. I've been through it. And then it can happen to us again. Then we just have to have a strong mind to get out of it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So here's the question that keeps me up at night. I think I know the answer, but I'll just throw it out there.
Yeah, no problem.
And maybe you've asked this too. Why the hell don't they teach us to use our mind in school? You know what I'm saying? They teach us what to think, memorize, conform, repeat, but not how to think, how to regulate emotions, how to upgrade beliefs in real time. Why do you think that is?
I'm not too sure, because I think all that would have helped me when I was going through elementary, junior high, and high school. You're not even thinking too much. You're just like sitting down and memorize things and regurgitating word for word, and then you're not really even learning too much about how you are or how you're feeling, and that was the case with me at that time, and it was a very difficult. But I didn't really learn about really thinking deeply into my different subjects until I went to Penn State, got it into Kappa Alpha Order fraternity, taught me how to be a gentleman, and then you analyze things. Why am I doing these things? Is it benefiting me? What are the historic implications and how people think of you? And growing up in mostly like Caucasian communities, and then now having all these other Indian Asians, so many of them in California now, and how they look at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm very Americanized. I hope you like who I am now, but I know you guys are.
Why worry about it? That's another thing. Who cares?
Yeah, why worry about it? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all worry way too much, especially kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And as you think about it now, imagine how different life in the world would be if we had the user manual from the beginning, and we had in the traditional systems where they're teaching us this. It blows my mind, which is, you know what I mean? And so here's the deal. I mean, this mission I'm on, it wasn't in the brochure. It shows me. Okay, I've lived it. I've gone through it, and you will continue to go through life. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm working with kids starting at 10 years old, not because it's cute, because that's when the world starts really hijacking the minds, the software. It literally actually starts at birth.
And then addictions are very difficult too for people. Right. I've realized, especially in Southern California, it's just amazing. Like, you could be rich or poor, and I see these people struggling, battling these addictions from drugs. It could be off the street, or even medical doctors give us now these days addictive drugs, and I just get so confused. And you see all these well-to-do people, and it's just very sad for me to see. And then they have to have a strong mindset to get out of it. So.
That's right. And what people don't realize, you're talking about addiction. Thoughts are addiction. Negative, positive.
Yes.
Behaviors are addiction. Not just drugs, not just alcohol, not just all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever you feed your mind will provide. Your unconscious is supposed to do what we want it. Okay? Most people don't realize this, and most people don't realize that our brains are in a hypnotic stage of development up until about the age of 8, where our personality is defined. Then the brain changes, and that goes into a whole different level of influence. Okay?
Yeah.
And for kids, I mean, unless we install the right mental code early, okay, the fear, the doubt, the pressure, the overthinking, the perfectionism, they all slip in and set up camp, right?
Yeah,
it's just fun. And it's like they're being downloaded viruses and calling it personality. Okay. Yeah. So I say we flip the script, and I appreciate you coming on and helping me with this. Build confidence before conditioning, make joy part of performance, and get this message out there. Whether they're 10 years old or they're 40 or more. I just helped a 85-year-old woman the other day. She was hallucinating. Okay. I did what I do, and she's now not having the hallucinations anymore. She has control of her mind. It's amazing. Okay. And she can't believe it. She's been through surgery. She had retina surgery because they told her it was that.
Yeah.
Been through psychiatrists, psychologists, all these doctors, and nothing worked. Okay. Now to move on, though, because we got to wrap this up. For the next level athlete chasing that next level.
Yes.
Maybe they're dreaming of going pro. Maybe they need an agent like you. Outside of mindset, what do they need to actually be ready for? What should they be focused on that most people would overlook? And lastly, if a parent, coach, or an athlete listening, right now wants to connect with you, learn more, or even explore working with you, what do you look for in an athlete, and how can you support them working with them? What should they expect, and how, can you just talk real briefly on that, because we have to wrap it up here?
Oh yeah, as they go through going from college life into professional life, uh, they should have as you said, a strong, confident mindset. And then as I do the recruiting with NFL draft, CFL draft, and other teams, make sure they don't get discouraged with their film and aspects. So, and whenever it does happen, when you do get to that next level, you're going to be set and ready to go because you already trained yourself and you have good faith that you'll make it to because you have a positive, good, healthy mind as well as a healthy body. And then you keep doing consistently what you're doing before, working out, training, taking the good and negative aspects and always trying to do better and
Cool.
keep moving forward is the most important thing as you go towards a professional career.
Awesome. And how can they connect with you? What is your website, socials, whatever?
Oh yeah, my website, I got Deep Sports Agent on X, and then you can also reach me at Deep Excel Sports Management with Sports Manager Worldwide, as well as my management crew, my team here in Dana Point, California. Text or call anytime. I'm happy to speak to you about sports, having faith in God and Jesus, as well as taking your steps to the next level in a professional career in the NFL, CFL, or arena football.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Because I believe this, if they don't have the right guidance now, they'll wish they had it later. And I want them to have the options that work. That's why I'm doing this. Man, Deep, you brought the goods. Okay. You went deep.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I always like to go deep. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers can go deep with the Steelers this year.
Yeah. So I mean, the strategies, the stories, the experience, the wisdom, the street smart that you shared, with a side of soul. That's cool, man. Thank you very much for being here. If anyone listening didn't pick up at least 3 golden nuggets today, rewind and try again. Okay. This was, high level and heart driven, real, raw. Okay. Thank you for showing up, man. And to all of you tuning in live or by, the replays, if this conversation moved you, inspired you, or lit something up inside of you, please make sure you subscribe, like, and share this episode with someone who needs it. Okay. You can follow me on championship on YouTube at championship mindset -1, which is on the screen down there. Look for the branding logo, which is up in the left corner of the screen right now. On Facebook at Championship Mindset, LinkedIn under my name, Spencer Senn, Instagram at Championship Mindset 1. Again, look for the black logo with the white mountains. And if you're ready to experience a mindset upgrade yourself, whether you're an athlete, a parent, or just someone who knows there's more inside, go to freedomandhealing.com, all spelled out, and schedule a free upgrade your mind call. Okay. We'll talk about how the I.G.O.A.T mental method and advanced mindset mapping can help you break through these blocks, clear away the bad programming, rewire and install your beliefs, and perform at your best level, both in sports and in life. And you don't have to be an athlete. Well, you are. Life is a sport. Let's upgrade your internal software. And until next time, okay, remember, mindset isn't guesswork. It's trainable. And it's the edge that changes everything. And if you're ready to take the leap, athlete, parent, pro, or just someone who knows there's more inside, remember, go to freedomandhealing.com, and we'll see you soon. Thanks much, Steve.
You're welcome. God bless.